Last time, we mainly mentioned the first biggest Chinese traditional festival, the Spring Festival. Today, we are going to talk about the second biggest Chinese traditional festival, Mid-Autumn Day. The Mid-Autumn Festival is the second grandest festival after Spring Festival in China. It takes its name from the fact that it is always celebrated in the middle of the autumn. It is also known as the Moon Festival, as at that time of the year, the moon is extremely bright and perfectly round. Mid-Autumn Day or Mid-Autumn Festival has more than 3,000 years history, tracing back to moon worship in the ancient Shang Dynasty, 600 to 1046 BC. It has been regarded as such an important occasion that hundreds of poets wrote poems about it. Mid-Autumn Day falls on the 15th day of the 8th month according to the Chinese lunar calendar, which usually occurs between the early September to early October in Western calendar. On the basis of the Chinese lunar calendar, on the night of Mid-Autumn Day, there is always a full moon, which is the brightest and the roundest in the whole year. And it is interesting that on almost every Mid-Autumn Day, the weather is so fine that a beautiful full moon is bright in the sky. To Chinese people, the full moon is a symbol of family reunion, perfection, and prosperity. And the family is always the top priority in Chinese people's hearts. So, it is the tradition of having family reunion on the festival that has a special appeal to all the Chinese people, which makes sons and daughters working far away go back home on Mid-Autumn Day to spend the time with their family members. That is why the festival is also known as the Day of Reunion and plays a key role in Chinese people's life. Besides, the festival also represents big harvest since different kinds of fruits and crops become mature at this time. There are many legends and stories related to this grand festival. The most well-known ones include the Jane Rabbit pounding medicine in the mortar, 玉兔捣药, Wugang chopping laurel tree, Wugang Fagui, and Chang'e flying to the moon, Chang'e Bengyue, which is relevant to another popular legend, Hou Yi shooting the suns, Hou Yi she日. The legend of Chang'e can be traced back to the ancient time of Shang Dynasty, 2000 BC to 600 BC. It tells of the hero Hou Yi and his beautiful wife Chang'e. According to the story, Hou Yi was a talented archer and rewarded with the elixir of life for having saved the lives of people on the earth by shooting 9 suns that scorched and withered crops on the earth and made people unbearable. In one version of the legend, Hou Yi's greedy friend named Peng Meng tried to steal the elixir for himself. When fighting with that elixir stealer, Hou Yi's wife, out of desperation, had to eat the elixir and then flew off to the moon, and lived in solitude only accompanied by a jade rabbit, leaving her husband all alone on the earth. Then Chang'e, as a goddess living on the moon, was doomed to be apart from her husband forever. Thus, romantically speaking, the festival is to commemorate Chang'e, who flew to the moon in order to protect her beloved husband's elixir. It is said that on a clear night of Mid-Autumn Day, People can see Chang'e dancing and playing with her rabbits on the moon. Accordingly, people often honored Chang'e by means of the tradition of making sacrifices to the moon, such as arranging a table with incense, cakes, and the fruits that she loved. According to the above legends, it is believed that Mid-Autumn Festival is an inherited custom of moon sacrificial ceremonies. Objectively speaking, in ancient times, the wise Chinese people observed that the movement of the moon was closely related to the changes of the 4 seasons and agricultural production. As a result, to express their gratitude to the moon and celebrate the big harvest in the autumn, they offered a sacrifice to the moon every Mid-Autumn Day. The custom of worshipping the moon, therefore, can be traced back as far as Xia and Shang dynasties, 2000 BC to 1066 BC. And that tradition has been passed on from generation to generation since then. In a cultural sense, the Mid-Autumn Festival is an important occasion for Chinese people all over the world to come and have a dinner together, express strong yearnings toward family members and friends who live and work afar, eat mooncakes and gaze at or appreciate the full moon. Therefore, every year, when the festival comes, people go back home from every corner of the country and the world to meet their family and have a dinner with them. After reunion dinner, the family will get together out of doors to enjoy the beautiful full moon, some seasonal fruits and delicious food, and of course, the traditional moon cakes. If one family member is far away on duty and fails to come home on Mid-Autumn Day, he or she will convey the homesickness and missing through the moon. Therefore, the full moon has become a symbol of family and a medium of communication as well as spiritual sustenance. In addition, on Mid-Autumn Day, many traditional and meaningful celebrations are widely held in some regions of China and other Asian countries, such as hanging lanterns, dragon and lion dances, lighting up Kongming lanterns, and making mooncakes. The mooncake is the special and the typical food of Mid-Autumn Festival. On Mid-Autumn Day, people sacrifice mooncakes to the moon as an offering and eat them for celebration. It is such an amazing and wonderful time for Chinese people to enjoy themselves under the silver and the romantic moonlight outside and eating the mooncakes and appreciating the full, bright moon. The flavors of mooncakes vary from place to place in China. The most popularized fillings are red bean paste, egg yolk, lotus paste, fruit jams, pork, beef, nuts, coconuts, walnuts, dates, chocolates, ice cream, etc. The mooncakes, just like the full moon, are round, symbolizing family reunion. So, the eating of mooncakes under the round moon can evoke longing for family members, relatives, and friends. Nowadays, Chinese people send their relatives and friends mooncakes as a festival gift to wish them a long and happy life when Mid-Autumn Day is drawing near. From the above description, we can see how much Chinese people value the Mid-Autumn Festival and how they feel about the moon. Because of that, there are many Chinese classical poems about the moon in literature. Let's take a look.
Thinking of you. When will the moon be clear and bright? With a cup of wine in my hand, I ask the blue sky. I don't know what season it will be in the heavens on this night. I'd like to ride the wind to fly home. Yet, I fear the crystal and jade mansions are much too high and cold for me. Dancing with my moonlit shadow, it does not seem like the human world. The moon rounds the red mansion stoops to soak-pat doors, shines upon the sleepless bearing no grudge. Why does the moon tend to be full when people are apart? People may have sorrow or joy, be near or far apart. The moon may be dim or bright, wax or wane. This has been going on since the beginning of time. May we all be blessed with longevity, though far apart, while still able to share the beauty of the moon together.
And if possible, you may make the comparison or contrast between different versions in translation. Thanks for your attention.